Yes, good evening, Zaga. Yaga, you know the vibes. You're rocking over yours truly, Showtime Sizzle. I am the sauce. Um, this is a special edition sauce. I'm not going to try to hold too much of your time, but normally I would have been on and out already. But like I said, unfortunately, it is back to school, right? School time. So the source has other priorities first as far as homework with the girls. But with that being said, in regards to doing homework with them, I stumbled across an old vintage article that I remember uh, doing a piece on back in the day when I was about 10 years old. 10 years old, yes, 10. From the LA Times, 1989. I'm going to pull it up in a second. That is going to be the topic of my thesis tonight. Because, like I said, when you pay attention to some of the things that goes on in the YT in the YouTube, I call it the cesspool now. You get a lot of garbage information being pushed out there in regards to narratives and things of that nature. So I said, you know what? Why don't I have a little fun tonight, right? And nature. So and I said, go in my bag, right? Go give y'all some vintage information. And I remember before I dropped the information, right? I remember I could recall debating people and yes, I can recall debating people, right? And guys used to try to tell me stuff, and I used to laugh like, bro, you have no idea who I really am, what I know, people I've been around, things of that nature. But tonight we're gonna get into a lot of that. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep this under 30 minutes. It's almost like a high school class tonight. But I think back in the high school a little longer, like 40 minutes. So if I go a little over, don't be upset. But like I said, let's drop some sauce on this low guaranteed PBC theory, right? I can remember a couple years back when I was into that, like fronting on these guys on Facebook groups and all that, and they would try to always tell me about what this fighter's making and that fighter's making. I'll be like, yo, bro, you don't know. They're being underpaid. They're being underpaid. And they will the back end. But I'm like, yo, not for nothing. They get the lowest guarantees ever. Lowest guarantees ever, right? And I'm going to pull up an article. And the article is going to start out from, I believe, 1979. It's going to show particular fighters' guaranteed purse that he was receiving. One of the legends, the greats, is going to show the guaranteed money, and you guys can look at this article for yourself instead of listening to suspect people on IG and guys that they're not even groomed for boxing, let alone to speak on it. But I'm going to expose some shit for y'all tonight, man. And I want y'all to really catch this sauce, because for the longest it has been a narrative put out there about, and please, by all due means, say I'm pocket watching. This is not pocket watching. This is just called exposing a theory, a lie, a narrative that has been pushed for so long, right? So let me pull up my article. Let me share my screen. Without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. going to go here. All right. I want y'all to see this big. So I'm going to dip off of the screen so y'all can see it. I'm going to turn this up to make sure y'all can still hear me. Dip off of the screen so y'all can still hear me, right? I'm going to turn this up to make sure y'all can still hear me. Okay, yes, y'all still hear me. So let's get to what we got going on. This article is by Earl Gutsky. Back in June 11th, 1989. It's from the LA Times, as you can see. Classic LA Times article. All right, let's scroll down a little bit. It says Sugar Ray and his paydays. That's Sugar, the great Sugar Ray Leonard, the man, and his paydays is at 83.5 million and counting, but he might have come along too soon. Right? I don't know. Now these guys ain't making nowhere near that, but if you could read the article, look, 12 years after he chose professional boxing for a career, it has become clear why Tommy Hearn's opponent Monday night took the name Sugar Ray, right? Read the article. It's a great article, man. I remember this. But I'm going to get down to the grit. They're going to, the reason why they were saying that, because they're showing that, read the article, man. Good article, man. See how they broke down some stuff here? I want y'all to read and educate yourself on certain things. But this right here is why I really wanted this article tonight. See, it starts off with his career, right? Sugar Ray Leonard's first big fight, November 30th, Wilfredo Benitez. That was for the world title. Remember that? That's when he became a world champion. 1979, November 30th. 1979, November 30th. Sugar Ray Leonard for a guaranteed $1 million. Then March 31st, he followed that up with a 4th round KO. This is public records. With a 4th round KO of Danny Green. He received another $1 million guaranteed purse. Then he got his biggest payday up to date. Still in 1980. Sugar Ray Leonard on June 20th, 1980, for a guaranteed purse of, you see it, $10 million. $10 million. That was 1980, right? He lost. Remember, that was the first time the fight. He comes back in a rematch after losing. Remember, he was the champ. He took a $3 million loss. Because now, instead of him getting 10, what did he receive? $7 million guaranteed. November 25th, 1980. I'm going to tie this all in at the end. March 28th, he fights Larry Bonds. KO's Larry Bonds. In the 10th round, he received a $1 million guaranteed purse. This is what? 1981. Let's get to the grit right here, right? September 16th, the biggest fights. Tommy Hitman Hearns TKOs him in the 14th round. He received a guaranteed purse, 1981 this was, of $12 million. Last time I checked, 10, 7, 12 million. No. What are you screaming for? I said no, go. Go. Just go. I'm on a podcast. Go. No, you're not going over this. No, you're not going over this. Just get it back from him. Just go get it back from him. That's it. You're not going over there. But yes, back to what I was saying, right? Are these guys now? This is the big time, the big age of boxing. These guys are making buku dollars, so to say, right? But I just said 10 million 80, another 7 million and 80, 2.5, 81, 12 million in 81 with Tommy Hearns, right? Marvin Hagler, 87. I'm gonna get to that too. Right? Look at the guaranteed money they was getting. You got to pay attention to that. I need y'all to pay attention because you sit around here and you listen to dudes that tell you shit on the cesspool, aka YouTube, about purses and guaranteed money and back end money, but yet these so-called big time pay-per-view fighters aren't getting nowhere near the guaranteed money. And when a fighter of a Terrence Crawford shoots for the stars, 20 million allegedly, and I'm showing you the type of money that these guys was making in 81, 80, right? But yet you listen to these cesspool pushers, these narrative nobodies. Yes, narrative nobodies, because they never had no fights. They're only online with it, right? But listen to this though, right? He fights Marvin Hagler, right? In 87. Sugar Ray. This is Sugar Ray's guarantee. $12 million. And this ain't even about the back end, because if you read the article, he was getting back end bread too. Read the article. That's why I said I'll let you educate yourself. I'm just giving you places to look. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to YouTube, listening to your favorite, like I said, narrative nobody, I'm giving you real places to look. You know, real places to look, real gems to drop. See, when I want to cook, like that's what they call it. That's what they say on YouTube, cook. I could do it too. I just choose not to because I'm not trying to get put in that box no more. I've been there and done that. I am the media marketing agent now. I hold many titles in the game, but sometimes you got to come on here and just educate. And look, here it is once again. Here it is once again. The rematch with Tommy Hearns in 1989. He made 13 million guaranteed, right? Last time I checked, other than Canelo Saul Alvarez, who got 40 million guaranteed to fight Caleb Plant, and I believe Caleb Plant got somewhere up to 8 to 10 million. None of those guys over there coming close to that. They're not coming close to this 13 million. They're not coming close to this 12 million guaranteed. They're coming more close to this right here, 2.5, maybe 1.5, 2.5. They're not even coming close to this right here, 7 million guaranteed. Look it up yourself. But you guys are going to argue and talk about back end this, back end that. Prove some back end, right? Prove some back end. But you can prove the low ball guarantee. And I want to say, how is it now in this day and time where when you listen to these cesspool narrative nobodies and they say how this is quote unquote the biggest fight in boxing, but yet there's no money for it. But I just ran down from how in 1979 to June 12th of 1989, these guys, well, Sugar Ray, but some of the others on here, were getting 8 figures. Now, when a guy asks for 8 figures guaranteed in the modern time, he's outpricing himself. He's outpricing himself. How is that possible? When I just showed you, this is a legit article from the Los Angeles Times from June 12th, I believe, is the date. Let's go back to the top. June 11th, my bad. June 11th, 1989, published by the LA Times. Definitely check that out, though, man. And like I said, this was for educational purposes only, because a lot of dudes on YouTube, shout out to Big Bunsen Boxing, WCS, what's my man Cap and all G. Yo, it's a couple of them out there that I dig their swag, their sauce. You know, but so many of you others, you guys are not even in the way no more. You guys are basically, like I said, the cesspool. You know, you feel like you could just sit around and gossip, push nobody narratives. That the game is over for y'all, man. It's been over for y'all, and it's showing now. It's showing. But like I said, this video tonight was for educational purposes. We need answers. How is it that, like I said, in '89, from 1979 to 1989, these fighters were able to, well, Sugar Ray Leonard, but you know, I showed Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns and others that were getting that big money with him. How were they able to get big guarantees then, but they can't get big guarantees now? And they're bigger networks. They are bigger networks, bigger network deals, and but yet the money is funny. But yet the money is actually funny. You know, hopefully y'all caught this sauce and y'all enjoyed it. Y'all, like I said, I was gonna keep it under 30 minutes, man, because see, when you come on here and you are actually delivering solid, concrete information, there's no reason to stay on and ramble on and chuck and jive, you know, because that's what you got going on. Like I said, salute to my daughters tonight because they got me in research school mode. You know what? I would have been on earlier, like I do on occasion sometimes, and run it up, just let the laptop play and fuck around like that. But tonight, like I said, we was doing homework. School is in full session, and I came across the article. I remember, you know, going to school, and you know, this was one of my, you know, back in the day. I'm a little older, you know, 43 years old, and when I went to school, we used to have to do current events and stuff like that. And I remember, you know, I come from a fighting family, so I remember always talking about Uncle Sugar, the Sugar Man. And I remember, you know, one fall day, I was like, I'm going to do my current events on Sugar. And I remember talking about this article, how he fights for millions and millions of dollars. Very proud day for me to speak on this. So when I was speaking on this in certain Facebook groups, and they would argue me down, like, no, those guys over here, the PBC, they make, no, they don't. They never did. Why is credit cards declining? Why are allegedly guys owed $10 million? And you know, we can go in and we don't need to, man. I think I hammered in enough information, but like I said, feel free to digest it yourself. Los Angeles Times. All you really have to do is Google search Sugar Ray Leonard purses. This should pop right up. It's a LA Times article published by Earl Gus Key, June 11th of 1989. And it breaks down a lot of stuff. If you read the article and really let it digest into your system, I guarantee you, when you come back on the YouTube, and you hear your favorite narrative nobodies talk about numbers and purses, you would never look at them the same. Because like I said, some know, some don't, but hey, what do I know? With that being said, we are going to wrap this up, because unlike the narrative nobodies, some of us are really in the gym. Some of us are really team official players. Hopefully y'all caught that sauce. Zaga, Yaga, you know the vibes. I holla.